Well, hey YouTube, welcome back once again to Jack's Tech Corner and another exciting, very exciting video. And something a little different than what you're used to seeing me do here. What we're talking about today, as the title always gives it away, is the smallest computer you can buy for only $130 to $150, depending on what model and makeup you buy. And we'll look at those in just a minute. But what am I talking about? Folks, I am talking about, as you can see here, the Raspberry Pi. Look how small this is. A fully functional, fully operational computer. Not only that, it allows you for dual 2 HDMI outputs, audio output. We have a power connector. We also have four USB ports, 4 of them. 2 of those are 3.0. We have a networking jack on this thing. And it's, like I said, it's a fully functional computer. This is actually a wireless keyboard dongle. And I'm just plugging it right into my USB port here. And let me get that in here. And there you go. But look at the size of this. Here's a standard iPhone. Look at the size. Look at that. That is really super amazing. For something to be this small. And it also comes with all the software you're going to need to get real work done. I mean, real work, right? Real stuff that you're going to be accomplishing with this little computer. You can even put Velcro on the back of this. Velcro this on the back of a monitor. And, yeah, I mean, it's an entire computer. It's called a Raspberry Pi. Now, many people are seeing these as, well, those are just experimental type of tools, and it's really not a real computer that you do anything with. For those out there that's hobbyists that like to do programming, you can do a ton of programming on this. For those out there that are just standard users, you can use this thing to do Word documents, Excel sheets, PowerPoint presentations. You can even use this with drawing programs, and everything comes on a device with it for, like I said, $130 to $150. We'll look at a couple configurations on Amazon. I'll show you where you can actually buy these things. If you do buy one, obviously use the link in the description below. Those are going to be my affiliate links with Amazon. And you can pick one of these up for yourself. So let's go ahead. I'm going to turn this camera around here, and I'm going to show you just how you connect this thing up to a monitor. And we'll also, in this video, I'll show you around the interface a little bit and show you what it has to offer you as either a consumer user or, as I said, a hobbyist, maybe a computer hobbyist, a server hobbyist. This thing is really, really versatile, and it's so low powered, and you know, it's fast for what it does. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So let me go ahead and turn the camera around, and I'll show you how this thing connects up. Okay, so let's see what we have set up here. We obviously, as I just said, have the wireless keyboard, and I have a wired mouse. Okay, I don't happen to have another wireless keyboard laying around. And the Raspberry Pi. Alright, there's the Raspberry Pi. It comes with the memories built on board, and it comes with a micro SD card. But everything is in this thing. So let's take a look at this setup. Alright, here's a this happens to be a 24-inch monitor. You could use any monitor. It does have to have some way to connect HDMI. You could use a dongle for that and go to VGA, or I just bought an HDMI monitor. Okay, let me take this camera, turn it down here, and we'll get to view some of this. So this happens to be the HDMI cable. As I said, it has 2 HDMI outputs. 2 HDMI outputs that you can use. This plugs right in the side here. And we can really use either one. I would use this one. Okay, HDMI. This is the power cable, and this comes with it, with the kit. It's the power cable with the on-off switch right there. We're going to plug that into the USB-C right there. The dongle for the keyboard is already on board there. And we're just going to plug the mouse in. Now this does have also a built-in wireless, and that's how I'm running it. I'm running it on wireless. That's it. That's the whole connection. It is now ready to boot up. So let's go ahead. I'm going to move this other microphone out of the way here. And we are going to see the boot up process. It's actually booting up now. It's pretty fast as soon as I plugged it in. And here it comes. Everything's booting up. And we'll give it just a second here to boot. There we go. This is the standard desktop. You have your start button. And we're going to look at these programs a little bit more closely. You have a web browser. We have a command prompt or a terminal. We'll talk about that. We have our file folders with everything in it that you would expect to see in there. So what I'm going to do with now is I'm going to connect to this thing and I'm going to show you around the interface here and what applications you get. So let me go ahead and move over to the other computer and connect to this, and we'll show you around. Once again, it is all running from this little guy right here. Yep, the Raspberry Pi. This happens to be a Raspberry Pi 4. Raspberry Pi 4. Alright, let's get started. Okay, now let's go ahead and have a look at the actual interface of Raspbian. Now, Raspbian, it's not Windows, but it's Window-like, and it's very easy to use. So the software actually comes with everything you need to be very productive around your house, your home, office, school, or even work, even the workplace. So the first thing we're going to look at, if we click on the Raspberry at the very top left of the screen, you'll see you get basically a start menu. And if we go into Office here, we're just going to go into Writer. And we'll show you how fast this launches. It's pretty amazing for being such a very small computer. So if we just, and you can see this is not Microsoft Word, but people get too hung up on that anyway, of using Microsoft Office and Microsoft Word, blah, 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 right? We're not going to worry about that either. But this is very easy to use. This is my first document. So you want to save this out as Microsoft Office or Microsoft Word. And you said, hey, look, I got to save this out because my college professor or my boss requires it to be Microsoft Office. I get the same thing. So if we go to File, we'll go to File and Export. We're going to go to Export here. And we can see here where we can change it to whatever format we want down at the bottom here. You can change it to PDF. You can change it to JPEG, PNG. Right? So we can make it anything we want there. Or if we want, we could just simply go to File, Save As, just like you would on a Word document. Click the pull down menu and look here, you got DOCX for the new Word format from 2007. Some people still like to see the DOC format from 2003, but that's Microsoft Office formatting. So if we click on DOCX, and we'll give this a name. We go under reports here. And we'll go under here and say report 2. And we'll click on save. We're going to use the Word format 2007 to 2019. Okay, very easy. Look at the top. It says report2.docx. It's a Microsoft Office file. So if you send this out, somebody, they're going to see it's Microsoft Office. Okay, they're not going to know what you use to type it. They're not going to know you use LibreOffice. They're not going to even care that you use LibreOffice. Is there a little bit of learning curve? It all depends what you do in Office. So let's say you want to do an Excel document because your boss says, hey, I want you to crunch some numbers for me. Well, that's fine. Just go to LibreOffice Calc, C-A-L-C. And you'll see here where it's LibreOffice Calc, which means you're doing calculations, which again, it's very easy to see how that works, right? Okay. You can do view. Sometimes I do this too. You do view, you zoom it up a little bit maybe. We're going to zoom it up to 150 here just so we can see a little bit easier. But if you did 2 in here, if you do 2 plus 2, if you move over, you can see it's 2 plus 2, right? If you would do something like sum or equals sum and you do the close bracket, you'll see now where it actually is telling you right here the formula. Okay, here's the formula. So we're going to do, we'll do, let me see where we're at here. Let's back this off a little bit. But you get the general idea, right? Let's scroll back up here to the top. All right. So we're going to say C15. C15. No, we're not going to say C15. We're going to say, we'll say C1. C1, comma, not C1 either. Hold on, I'll get this right. Yeah, C1, comma, D1, put the close bracket, and we'll just go here. Okay, so it says 0. So if we go into C, okay, if we go down here, the mouse is scrolling around here a little bit. It's messing with me here. So if we go to C and we put in 4, you can see that changes to 4, and we go to 8. And we in fact see that it actually calculated it out, and it is now 9. So it works very, very well. Again, there's not much of a learning curve. We're not going to save this document. So let's look at what is a Raspberry Pi. How can you buy it? Where can you get it from? Well, I pulled up my Amazon here, and we're going to have a little look-see. So here's a 128 gig edition with 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage, that's the micro SD card, and 8 gigs of RAM for $160. Not bad for a full computer. And as I said, you can buy them cheaper. Here's a 4 gigabyte starter kit with 8, I believe it says 8 gigabyte of storage for $109. So it's even cheaper than a $150 computer, right? So folks, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. I know it wasn't the normal videos I produce from my channel, but I'm so excited about the Raspberry Pi and being able to buy a whole computer system, you know, the computer anyway, for 150 bucks. You probably have a monitor laying around your house somewhere. Use the monitor. Get yourself a keyboard and mouse. You probably have those laying around the house too. And if you don't, you can run over to Walmart and pick up a keyboard and a mouse combo set for about 20 bucks. So you might be looking at $180 total to put a new computer up and have it running to do everything you want to do. Email online, shopping online. I mean, everything that everybody normally does. And most people nowadays use the internet and the web to do 90% of their computing stuff. So I think you'll be just fine. So if you have any questions or concerns, please email me. Please put it in the comment section below. I would love to talk to you about it. And remember, as always, I'm here for you to help. And I hope to bring you another interesting video next time around. Tell your friends about Jack's Tech Corner and get them over here to subscribe. I hope you subscribe and like the video. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you next time. Take care, everybody.